I'm Ben Byes.
And I'm Carly Byes. We've been married for 12 years and together for 15 and have 2 boys.
This is our story of a controlling church and spiritual abuse and how it shook our relationship and clouded our view of God.
Our desire is that our honest view of pain and trauma in relationships can provide hope and the courage to hold on when life does not turn out as planned.
While also providing a dash of humor and loving banter.
We are still working to find wholeness, and we welcome you on our journey. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining in again this week. Apologize for no notice on no episode last week. So our sincerest apologies.
Yeah, the fame got to us, and it was too heavy of a load to bear. We needed a break from just
the popularity,
adoration of fans. So.
But we are back, and this episode is a little bit different. This week, we got a lot of Final Four suggestions, so we thought we would do a Final Four episode of several different topics you guys suggested.
So sorry to all of those who like story format or wanted some other details of something in our lives.
Well, this is actually a lot of detail that you're going to receive tonight. So, as you've gotten to know us a little bit better throughout our story, the Final Four just kind of is a little bit deeper insight into our life.
I guess so. Although we know some people who don't even listen to the Final Four, so apologize for you for having to listen to a whole episode of it.
Yeah, Dad. My dad said that. Rude. All right, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, so our first one is going to be gadgets. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So, our favorite gadgets. Now, this can go a lot of different directions. Would you like to start?
I'll start because I don't feel like I have a lot of gadgets in my life necessarily. There was one when I was doing bulletproof coffee every morning. Carly had a salad, like a hand salad mixer. Is that what it was?
No, it was a salad dressing container that had like a apparatus that mixed the, like when you mix the oil and vinegar in a dressing container.
Yeah, and it was glass.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the best thing ever because I didn't, people who get out blenders and all that crazy stuff. I just dumped everything in there, just
cranked
mashed
down
it
that
up like it was salad dressing, and it was my favorite thing when I was doing that. So yeah, it was great. That's a gadget, I guess.
Yeah, that was a great gadget until it broke.
Yeah, until it broke.
Yeah.
Probably our kid's fault.
So my first one that comes to mind is a nail file. And this is important. Ben's
gadget.
Like batting his eyes at me.
I didn't know it was a gadget.
It's a thing.
Oh.
Like a thing that is important to me. I'm trying to think of things that like I can't necessarily, like I could live without, but I don't want to ever be without. So nail file is one of those things.
Yeah.
I'm very particular. I know, shocking when it comes to my nails, and I mean it's truly like tell me something that is worse than having like a snag in your nail, and you like have to get through the day of figuring out what you're going to do with that.
Yeah, Carly legitimately panics when that happens.
It's the worst. It's terrible. I know I'm not alone in this. It's the worst. And so I like to have a good nail file. It has to be a good one. It needs to have like double sides, like a softer and then like a little bit more of a rough side. And I'm just particular with how I like my nails filed. Like I will often, when I get my nails done, I'll often go to the nail salon with them already pre-filed how I like them. So then I don't have to like constantly be correcting the manicurist and offend them. So nail file is one of my top things.
What if there was an electronic nail file, and then it would really be a gadget?
Then that's a gadget, yeah. They have those at salons.
I'm sure they do. So, la-di-da-di. The other gadget isn't necessarily just one gadget, but I think anything like headphone or music box related, I really,
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, I really enjoy music. So, I think everyone does, but I've grown into a habit of like needing it when I work and always having music playing and, so
Another Bluetooth thing that you got.
yeah,
That's a great gadget.
yeah. So like Bluetooth, and we do it we use it at home. We use one at home, a Bluetooth speaker when our kids want to do dance parties and, you know, major things like that. So anything music related, I like those gadgets.
Yeah, I'm more of a gadget person than you are.
Yeah.
I'm maybe because I'm like more the homemaker, and if that maybe that kind of falls into that category. I don't know. Maybe that's just what comes to mind because I'm purchasing things for the house more so than you are. And I'm like such a sucker for like the things that are by the checkout stands.
Yeah.
And like in stores, I feel like they put like the best stuff like right as you're walking in, like especially like at Marshalls and TJ Maxx, like all of those good little like crafty things that you don't really need are all right there. So I'm a sucker for like those types of gadgets. But continuing, I love my pop socket on my phone. It's been such a great thing with having children because it's like an extra security in how I feel like I don't ever drop my phone anymore because that allows me to hold it like more securely. Yeah, so it's great. And I also love I got a little attachment that hooks onto my air conditioning vent. So it's a magnet on the back of my pop socket that I can connect my phone so then I can Marco Polo my friends all day long while I'm driving. And technically I'm hands-free, so booyah.
One time Carly was Marco Poloing a friend and the accident happened.
Oh my gosh, it
in
was
front of her in the middle of a Marco Polo, and we played back the video and her face like went completely white.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was one of those like terrible raining spells that we had here in California last month or 2 months ago, and I was on my way to the gym. It was really early in the morning, and the roads were clear but wet, and I got on the freeway, and someone just totally spun out in front of me, and I'm really thankful that I didn't leave. I always think about those things, like what if I left like 3 minutes earlier? Like I could have been involved in that accident. Anyways, thank goodness I had that thing because it recorded my whole expression, and we could talk about it forever. Go ahead.
True. The only other one I could really, a quick one that is not a unique thing. I love my Apple Watch. It's
I thought you were gonna say that.
really enjoy it. Not spend a lot of time on that, but my last one would be this. Long time ago, it was years and years ago. I wanted a pouch for my arm to put my phone into when I ran.
Remember this?
And instead of that, one of my relatives got me a like magnetic pouch that it hooks on your shorts, so it's almost like a tiny little fanny pack for your phone, but it's magnetic and doesn't go all the way around. It just is a magnet to itself, and that is just the best thing.
It's been like the best gift.
The best thing in the world, because when Carly's pregnant with both our kids, I was at practice and I can't stand having a phone in my pocket, and I just slip it right in my little fanny pack right there, and just in case I needed a little phone call or anything like that during practice, because I usually wouldn't bring my phone out, but that was the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I was running a camp or something where I needed my phone but I didn't want it in my pocket, just slip it right in the fanny pack. Or going for a run.
Yeah, because he's wearing athletic shorts, aka mesh shorts, so he can't wear.
They're not mesh shorts anymore.
A phone in your pocket is like terrible in athletic shorts.
Yeah.
So like sloppy and hangy.
Yeah. Hangy and sloppy. Just the exact words I was thinking.
Oh man. Well, are you done with yours?
Yeah. I'm
okay.
done.
I'll just go ahead and give you the rest of my 6. A refrigerator with an ice machine, obviously. That was one of the stipulations when we purchased our fridge, was that it needed to have an ice machine because I like cold water. So that's one of them. My sewing machine is probably one of my favorite gadgets, like in terms of a gadget. I do obviously a ton of different things on that, and that was a great gift that I got years ago. it's the gift that just keeps on giving, you know? And Ben hates it when I leave it out for, depends on like what project I'm working on, but sometimes my projects will last several days, and the sewing machine.
Days. I mean, weeks.
Well, if it's Christmas time, then yeah. Christmas time, the sewing machine can stay out for more than a couple days. But, and yeah, our house is so small, so it'll usually be like on the end of the kitchen
we need
table.
a sewing room.
Yes.
Or something.
Or just another space for me to do that kind of stuff. And because it's so heavy and bulky and it like goes up in the closet, it feels like so much effort to just take it out and put it away, and then, you know, put it back away and then take it out when I need it, like in the next couple hours or the next day even. It just, I don't know why, it just feels like a lot of work. So Ben always hates that, is what I'm saying. But yeah, those are favorite gadgets. I love my Instant Pot, obviously, as well. And as far as kitchen gadgets, Instant Pot, little lemon squeezer, like the Williams Sonoma one. Not the, like, this one's like really heavy duty, that you put the like slice of lime or lemon in it and it like squeezes it out.
It'll squeeze every drop out of that thing.
Yeah, that was like the best.
It's like an anvil.
Yeah, that was the best thing I ever like purchased post, I feel like wedding registry. But next topic.
What's the next?
You go for it.
Okay,
you
well,
choose.
someone asked us some lessons we learned pertaining to coaching in marriage. So we just have a couple of these together that we can say. I'll start with one that, well, go ahead and start, because my first one is probably the same as yours.
Okay, so lessons we've learned for me being a coach's wife and you being a coach. Yes.
Sorry for the clarification. That's the clarified
Yep,
version.
you're welcome. That's why I'm here. So I have like two main ones. I'd say like my first one is like getting involved. I feel like that was such a game changer for me feeling a part of what Ben was doing for so many years, was getting involved. And so what that looked like pre-kids of our own was, I would make like cookies or things on game day for his players, like specifically his like running backs that he was coaching. I would make like, little travel kits for them, as well as for Ben too. And I did that for almost like every away game for several years.
And then every home game you
did more like cookies
yeah.
or something that you brought into your meetings beforehand, cupcakes. And then I feel like then we'd have your guys over for dinner often, and at least a couple times a year, a couple times each semester, and so we'd have them over for dinner, and I got to be involved in their lives that way, and it was like a way for us to be able to entertain and cook and be around you with them, which was always like really fun. So that's what it looked like before having kids, and then once we had kids, I would come to practice as often as I could. We usually had like Tuesday nights, so you'd be late during football season, both Monday and Tuesday, because you were usually teaching Monday nights, and then Tuesday nights was your late night with the coaches. So we would usually come to practice on Tuesdays, and we'd go have dinner in the calf together when Truman was really little, and then eventually did that with Tate before then we would head home and you'd have to go back to your meetings. But that was, we weren't as good at about having the players over on a consistent basis. Once we had kids, I think it just became harder to juggle all of that. But I wished I made more of an effort, because we always talk about how much like we miss those days of being able to do that. But yeah, so I had to like figure out ways of being involved like really early on, because otherwise it's just so isolating and you feel really alone, especially when you have small kids, and not that it's not ever isolating or lonely, because it definitely is, but I've learned that I've had to get involved in the capacity that I know that I can, whether that was before kids or after kids, to be able to feel like I'm on this journey with Ben, and not that we're on two completely separate journeys or, job paths. And yeah, otherwise it's too long of a season. Football's year round, but it just can be too long of a year if I'm not involved in those ways. So I always loved being a part in the ways that I could. So that's probably like the biggest thing that I've learned to do as a coach's wife.
Yeah, I would affirm that. I think it's a big deal to be involved with each other. And no, some people don't like taking work home or whatever, but I know part of being involved was, Carly knowing certain things about what players were doing well and how they were doing, and try to have those discussions and everything. I think being involved, having her involved, is a big part of it.
Yeah.
And our whole goal with coaching always is to show these young men how to be better husbands and fathers. So the more they get to see that from us, I think the better. So I think it helps us grow closer, but it also in turn helps us set a good example, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
One thing that I think I've learned in a big way, obviously has to do with the coaching aspect, but also in other parts of our lives from what we went through before, is to not downplay how hard it is for Carly to be alone for part of the season, or for weekends when I would be away or recruiting or whatever it is, or even 3 or 4 nights in a row when I'm not out of town, but I'm not home to help put the kids in bed. And I think for me, a big thing that's helped us is just for me not to try and downplay that that's hard. And I think the defense mechanism is always say, well, it's harder for this person, or it could be worse, or maybe,
That's always the thing.
I could be coaching at this place where it's way worse. You should be happy. I would never say you should be happy, but there's a way of always trying to protect yourself by saying, well, it could be worse, instead of saying, yeah, that does stink. I'm sorry. Or to say, yeah, I wish I could be home too. I'm sorry. And that doesn't mean that I don't love my job and I don't love what I'm doing, but it just...
But that took us a really long time to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, you've been coaching this is your 10th year now. And I'd say really only in the past 2 years, maybe, we've gotten so much better at that. I think as we've just learned more about ourselves and where we've associated with feelings about, from the past, and carrying those same sort of like habits. I wasn't able to tell Ben, I what I was trying to get from Ben in those situations was, hey, I'm home with 2 kids or 1 kid, putting them to bed by myself 4 nights a week. It more if you're out of town. I just want some recognition of yeah, this is hard. I'm sorry that it's hard, but that was so hard for you to be able to say that, because you were feeling yeah, if I'm saying this, and that means I can't be loving my job at the same time, or I think it's similar.
This is a weird thing where you have a hard time affirming someone's feelings because you don't, and part of it is from our past too, because if I affirmed her feelings, what if then she gets upset? It's from it's just weird how those little pieces of trauma still work into your life, how we live so many years like that, saying, no, I can't affirm your feelings of having a hard time right now, because that could affirm that maybe I'm not in the right spot, when that was never a consideration in this area of our life, that we're in the wrong spot or doing the wrong thing.
But it's that same association in your mind as to what's keeping you from actually being more sincere or whatever. But it seemed it was so much, we were so much more connected when I was able to say, hey, it's been a hard day, or even without me having to say anything, when Ben would be hey, I know it's hard, I'm going to be gone for the next 3 days, and I really miss you guys, I can't wait to be home on Sunday or whatever. It doesn't mean that you're not loving the time that you're away, you're going to play a football game, you know? It doesn't mean that I wasn't excited to like watch you online, you know, coach and stuff, but it was just the connection that we needed from each other to be like, okay, like he sees where I'm at, but we can still enjoy what we're doing, still like what enjoy the weekend, because I know that he gets where I'm coming from. But yeah, that took us a long time to get to that point. And I think is something that we have to like remind each other each year. Like, you know, okay, this is like, remember, I need this from you, and, you know, you need this from me or whatever. Or this is helpful, you know, when you can be supportive in this way or whatever. Or
instead of being competitive with our feelings, just affirming each other's feelings in both situations.
Yeah. The other one that I was going to say was making an effort to like be intentional with our time during football season. And so for us, that had to be like really specific. And that's when we created like our Thursday patio date night. And having it be something that was, you know, for a short time it was consistent, and then other times of the year it was, you know, every couple weeks, or maybe, you know, less consistent than that, but we still would try to, you know, make it a priority as often as we could. And that was really important, you know, even before going into season or into camp, reminding each other of like, okay, you know, this Thursday, or, you know, we've got our Thursdays, you know, back, or, and then we just knew, and it was something we look forward to every week. And we had to we've talked about that before, and how we would trade off, you know, making like a drink or a dessert. And, and Thursdays was the best day of the week, because even if you were going out of town, you were still home, usually Thursday nights.
And there's a little less stress by Thursday, because you've done all the work, basically.
Right.
At least you should, if you're decent.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of adjustments or changes you need to make by that night, so there's not as much.
Yeah, it was typically like the earliest night that you were home. So making an effort to be intentional, instead of just like, okay, like here's season, we're just going to like buckle down and like grind through it, you know, which there are those feelings of having to do that sometimes. But I think each year we do a better job of like learning how we can connect with each other during those busy times. And so, you know, part of that is going out to practice. And the date night has been a really important thing for us. Patio date night.
Yeah. And my last one would piggyback on that, is that for me personally, I feel like the mantra before every year has always been, how can you be more present when you're here? Mm-hmm. Be present, you know, be wherever your feet are, and know that that's the most important time right there. So any profession is stressful, and just sometimes coaching a game is stressful because you're legitimately judged by what happens on the scoreboard. There's a judgment every week. And if you're not securing yourself, sometimes that can take a toll on you, but there's a lot of stress that goes on with it. So learning over the years that when I'm home, even if it's 30 minutes before the kids go to bed, that better be a 30 minutes where I'm not checking my phone or trying to call a recruit or trying to be on social media to follow somebody. You know, there's got to be a time like that. And I think that was one of the big things when it came to Thursdays, is we put our phones away. We wouldn't have any distractions, and we just say, wherever we are, we're going to be present. And so I think that can apply to anybody's job situation or family situation. Mm-hmm. But in this situation, it's one of the things that really has helped, I think, us grow as a family, is for me personally trying to really be present.
Do you feel like that's been the hardest lesson for you? Like not just as a coach, because I'm sure there's many other like challenges or things you've learned, but as like a coach, husband, like not letting the stress like affect every area of your life.
Oh yeah, that's a huge, hard lesson.
Yeah,
that's continually learning, but it's just crazy how the stress, if you don't handle it, just sucks the life and energy and makes you tired. And but yeah, coming back to the present moment and just trying to live that moment out and connect with the people around you and connect with you and connect with the kids. I think that brings a different kind of energy. Period. It revitalizes you. It revives you. And yeah.
It's
So
hard.
yes, that
And
is
it's-
hard.
yeah, it's
That's
hard.
really hard. I feel like that's our discussion every year before
Yeah.
season.
And during season.
Yeah.
And after season, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's different stresses every year too. There's different new challenges that present itself, and different things that are going on in your personal growth. So the stresses are like they're the same, but then they're also very different each year. So it's almost like you're relearning every year, like how to try not be as stressed. But I feel like this last year was the best year that you've had.
Good.
Yeah.
Growing.
Yes, growing. Absolutely.
Continual growth.
Continual growth, yep.
Next one.
Okay, so a little more lighthearted. Favorite breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Either meals or like this is your favorite type of food for breakfast, this is your favorite type of food for lunch, or whatever. You can be as specific or non-specific as you want.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. What?
Would you like to go first?
I'll go first with breakfast.
Okay.
I love breakfast. I could eat breakfast every day, all day. If I get home and there's
every day.
all day.
All day, every day.
Yes, all day, every day. If I get home and there's nothing to eat, I will make eggs. That is the go-to. That's what I'll do no matter what. But I would say when it comes to breakfast, if I'm just going to splurge and go all out, it's pancakes and biscuits and waffles and all the sweet
Anything
things.
sweet,
Oh,
yeah.
just if I go to IHOP and just not know that I'm not going to feel sick afterwards and just get those funfetti pancakes with like frosting on them. And
Of all the
just-
breakfast places, you choose IHOP. We live by Flappy Jacks, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many-
It's the first thing that came to mind because I went there with Truman, and so yeah, anything sweet. But there is, I would say specifically, there's a couple different places I've had chicken and waffles. It's just excellent because you get the fried chicken and then you get the waffles. One's Bouchon in Las Vegas has chicken and waffles to die for, and I love Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I really do. They have great waffles and they have some good chicken. But I like that. That could be a breakfast or a lunch, really,
Yeah.
for me.
yeah. I've never been to Roscoe's.
This is excellent.
I don't know if I believe you.
This is excellent. The waffles are great.
Well, you have to maybe take me
Yeah.
sometime. Yeah, so Ben and I are complete opposites when it comes to breakfast. Ben, you also forgot to mention that you had Lucky Charms every morning for breakfast for most of your life.
That's true.
Really until like a couple years after we got married.
Yeah,
You dwindled your
which is
cereal
so
intake.
crazy. I was so neurotic about being an athlete and treating my body right and
and you
working
like never
out
had soda.
ever, and I literally ate cereal every morning for breakfast.
And not just cereal, folks. Lucky Charms. I mean,
I would, yeah,
and not just a bowl. He had like a trough. Like you were the classic, like the box was next to you as you continued to pour it in until like all of the milk was gone. Did you also like refill your milk?
yeah, of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
It's
amazing you were so talented
I
athletically, because it's a terrible breakfast.
It's a horrible breakfast, and I can't imagine. Maybe I would be even better now. You know,
Great.
I don't know
Missed
what
your
the
chance.
situation is, but yeah, it's crazy now. I would never even consider having cereal for breakfast because it doesn't. You know, I guess I understand nutrition better, but yeah, I was playing
But you
college.
were
I
still,
was playing
like-
college football, and I would eat like half a box of cereal in the morning,
But what's so crazy is you were still like, you still were on.
and it
your,
was
like,
Magic Stars usually, not Lucky Charms, because Magic Stars are cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you were still into your like crazy protein like you are now,
Yeah.
which is just so crazy. Because now you're like, there wouldn't be a chance in the world you would go without having some sort of protein for breakfast.
You're right. Yeah.
Like, he puts protein in his eggs, you guys. Like some sort of meat in his eggs.
Okay, we've had this discussion before. Let's, everybody...
Not that specific.
Everybody who, is trying to put a little muscle on, we all know your protein intake.
I know.
Has
My
to be
point
extremely high.
was just that with the Lucky Charms. Like, you still have that mindset of the protein, but then had Lucky Charms for breakfast.
Yeah, I think I would usually have like a protein shake after I ate cereal.
So funny. Anyways, so I'm the complete opposite, and I will like anything savory for breakfast. So my two probably like favorite go-tos would be like a good breakfast burrito, or like chilaquiles. That'd be like my number one, which is obviously not at like every single restaurant, but that would be my first choice for breakfast. Something savory. And then I just get like a little bite of something off of your plate, and then it like satisfies my sweet tooth.
Yeah. But a good biscuit with some honey on it.
No, see, I would much rather have like the home
honey
fries,
butter.
which you don't like.
I hate home fries.
Yeah, Ben.
Hash browns,
Ben's
home
like,
fries.
Yeah, could I have like a pancake instead of like the potatoes? I'm like, can you give me his potatoes, please?
Honestly, who wouldn't want a pancake instead of potatoes?
Oh my gosh, this girl.
Well.
Yeah, we're a good pair though.
Yeah.
Except you don't give me your potatoes. I don't need them. Okay, your lunch.
My lunch and dinner, I kind of just smattered into one.
Okay.
I would prefer like a burger or meat. Or sushi.
Oh yeah.
Like
sushi,
those would be like if I could eat anything, I would want a really good burger, which is really crazy because I feel like most of my college life and even our early life, whenever we went to burger place, I would get chicken.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was
that was really only until a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Get a chicken burger.
I would all the time, and then
feminine.
I thought lean protein is better and healthier for you.
Do you think it was actually when you started doing keto stuff that you were
for sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, fat's not bad for you. So I just started eating red meat, and I have not turned back. Give me red meat. All day, every day, red meat. So, yeah, but before that, I used to get chicken burgers, but now a good stinking burger is just...
nothing like it.
Nothing like it. So I would say burger or steak and then sushi.
Yeah, that's good. I was a little bit more specific with my lunch in that.
I can imagine.
That was like if I could choose anything I want for lunch, it would either be like a really good salad, but specifically either the steak salad from Luca Bella's or the steak sandwich.
Yeah, those are both very good. Yeah.
So that's where my lunch ends, either one of those. But my dinner, I love like any sort of like pregame with like chips and salsa or chips and dip. Like I love a good sauce or dip. Love a good pregame of chips and something. So whatever follows that doesn't really matter because I'm like so happy with the dip and chip situation. Or just a really great like cheese platter for dinner. Like love that. Yeah. And Ben's now again rolling his eyes because there's not
rolling my eyes. I'm not rolling my eyes. It's a Carly go-to. Carly family go-to. Yeah. A cheese platter with
my mom's an excellent
a million
cheese.
Different kinds of cheese and some almonds and some
persimmons,
raisins and just everything. Yeah,
everything.
But, gourmet cheese platter.
Yes, yeah. So that's always a good like go-to for dinner. I feel like even at home. I mean, obviously, like between us, the two of us, and I always like over. The spread's always way too much. I'm really bad at gauging that sort of thing. Because I just get so excited about it all.
Like,
and you want to try all
so many
of
these new
things.
cheeses. I got a new cheese. Trader Joe's has a new cheese. There's 4 new cheeses. There's 4 new cheeses on this platter right now. But then we had to get the old go-tos also.
Yeah.
So,
what's your favorite cheese on a cheese platter?
I don't know. I mean, I really like brie cheese.
Really?
Yeah.
Brie's so boring to me now.
Yeah.
It used to be like the go-to, but now it's like
I would say
I could do without Brie forever.
I would say like the goat cheese with a sweet topping on it. You know how Trader Joe's will do that every once in a while?
Really?
Like,
You like
yeah.
those?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
More than the honey goat?
Well, that's similar.
No, it's just honey goat. Doesn't have anything on it.
I mean, yeah, a sweeter goat cheese would
Yeah.
be my thing. Yeah.
You know, I think's really underrated. That pub cheese.
Yeah, pub cheese is good.
The jalapeno one's so good. Anyways, does that end your category of breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Okay. We have 2 more categories. The next one is bucket list items. Now this is totally more your thing than mine. Ben has an ongoing bucket list
Always.
as long as I've known him.
Always, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I'll just say all mine, and at least ones that are on my mind right now.
Okay.
One would be like a very large tattoo, about a half sleeve, from my neck all the way to halfway down my arm. It's just so expensive. So I'm gonna do a GoFundMe account on our page.
No,
if anybody,
you are
I
not.
will never do that. No.
Oh my gosh, those people are the worst.
But I mean, I have an idea for everything I want. It's just expensive, and
But I thought that was more so what was holding you back, is you don't know exactly what you want.
no, I have a pretty good idea what I want now. It's just
Because what you really want is to be Polynesian so you can get a tribal tattoo.
no, that's not true. I wish I was Polynesian, but not for a tribal tattoo. Mostly just because of the music and the family-oriented community.
And the tribal
Kava.
tattoo.
So
Because he doesn't feel like he can get a tribal tattoo. by
I've
being
never
white
wanted
guy.
a tribal
Well,
tattoo.
like that type of,
I don't know why you're saying that. I've never actually wanted a tribal tattoo.
but that style of the half sleeve.
Yeah, but you
And
can get a half
design
sleeve
stuff.
that's not tribal.
Right, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yes, that would be it. A really nice motorcycle. I'd like
Yeah,
that.
you've always wanted a motorcycle.
Yeah. To affect worldwide change. I mean,
The
honestly,
motorcycles to affect
no,
worldwide
that's
change? Or
my third
not?
one. Yeah, to affect change on a grand scale and help people live their full potential.
Wow.
That'd be yeah. I mean,
I need
what a
to
bucket
start-
list? Why not
I
try?
need to start looking a little higher.
And then I think there's a lot of places I'd like to travel to, over the course of my time in life. I'd like to go to New Zealand. I'd like to go to Greece, Argentina, and see the Andes Mountains. I'd like to go to the Alps in Switzerland. So those are some.
I've never heard you tell me any of those things before.
And I've always wanted to go
The
to
what
Madagascar.
mountains? Wait, what's in Argentina?
The Andes.
I literally have never heard these words come out of your mouth.
Yeah, those are my secret dreams.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Secret life. But and I always want to go to Madagascar until the movie, and then I thought, no, everyone thinks I would want to go there just for the movie. But when I was little, I always, from when I was like in middle school, I always thought that's an awesome little island off of Africa. Would be cool to go to.
I literally don't even know you right now. Ever since I was little, I've always wanted to go to this little island off of Africa. I've never. We've been to Africa twice. You've never been to Madagascar.
Africa's a humongous country, Paula.
I know, but I cannot.
Why is it a private bucket list?
Oh my gosh, so funny. What about your Iron Man?
Oh yeah.
Okay, everybody listen up.
Yes. Okay, everybody listen up so that years down the road when it happens, you can give me a high five. Sometime in my life, I'm going to do an Iron Man or like a super marathon or something crazy. Just some crazy... I'm going to do some crazy physical feat. So, yeah. I don't think I could swim more than 25 meters because my arm can't go over my head without popping out a socket.
So
but
how are you going to do an Iron Man?
I'll just figure it out. I'll do it.
See, this is okay. So I'm laughing because Ben. Because Ben is the classic underestimator of like how long something's gonna take to do, to make, to whatever it is. He is an underestimator to the core, and so.
But I'm also hardcore willpower and get
No,
it done.
totally, yes, exactly. But
I'm not saying I'm gonna like make it to the Ironman finals.
I know, but like people train for years and years for this sort of thing, and it's like you're downplaying like how hard it is,
Oh no, not at all. I think
or
it's
like the fact
horribly
like
hard
that it's
and ridiculous and extremely
something that
prestigious.
just so easy you should be able to do.
I think it's so easy. I just think at some point in my life I'm going to do it. So I made up my mind it's going to happen. Just, whether it's when I'm 60 or 70, we'll see. When I can lose some of this body mass. Cause
It's
just
a 3 mile swim.
Yeah, I know. And I'll just have to like doggy paddle or something.
Ben, your shoulders are so bad. I don't even think you could do 800 meters.
Well, then I'll just do a crazy ultra marathon or like an echo race where you have to like climb a mountain and do all this other stuff.
What about like a Tough Mudder or something like that? We've done a mud run, but what about like a Spartan?
I don't know. That's not nearly as hard. I want to do something that's really hard.
Those are really hard.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, not as prestigious as like an Ironman, sure.
And for all you guys who've done an Ironman, congratulations. It's extremely hard. I'm not downplaying it. If I tried to do it right now, I would die. Okay?
I know, I just think it maybe is a little bit insulting that you're like, I'm going to do an Ironman in my life.
I don't see that as insulting. That's a bucket list item. So, or maybe I'll go to the CrossFit Games. Just kidding. I won't do that. My shoulder can't handle that kind of torque.
Oh my gosh, so funny. Yeah, I can't believe you forgot that one.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, that was a big one. So I would like a tattoo as well. I just don't know where. I don't know where yet. I think I know what. It'll be something like significant to like what we've walked through, but the permanency scares me a little bit because I don't know. I just don't want any regrets. And as a female, I feel like it's easier to like have a regret about a location of a tattoo in 20 years, whatever. Anyway, so that's my hesitation right now. Maybe something I'm excited for is being able to like travel with our kids when they're like older and we don't have to be on a nap schedule and they can like walk on their own and not have to be carried and not have to pack a stroller, and like we could go, I don't know, just somewhere, like travel somewhere with our kids, even like Europe or something like that would be so fun. Like the idea of that sounds so enjoyable, like to be able to have more adult-like conversations with our children and to experience those types of things with them.
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list. And that's basically it because I have a hard time achieving things early.
I thought you wanted to like be in the best shape or something like that.
Well, I wasn't going to bring that up, but yeah, my number one thing while Ben's training for his Ironman, I would be training with him so I could just be like in the most incredible shape of my life. So when neither one of those things happen, we'll let you know.
I cannot wait. I can't wait. I just need a bike first, too. I've never actually ridden anything besides a mountain bike for more than like a mile.
Okay. You're so insulting.
Do I have to wear spandex when I ride the bike, too, with the
gosh.
little butt pads?
Oh my gosh. Okay, moving on. So our final category is the things that we love about each other.
Dun, dun, dun. Multiple people have asked this one, so...
Yep. Been trying to put it off as long as we can. Would you like to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Looks, duh.
Serious? Oh my gosh, I know you're being so superficial. I've been like really working on this.
No, I've got a lot of other things on here, but I mean, I think she's really pretty.
Thank you.
That's the reason I ran track when I was going to quit, because there was some pretty freshman girls on the track team. She was one of them, the prettiest of them all.
Lucky you. You got stuck with me.
So yeah, I mean, she's extremely pretty and sophisticated and carries herself in an honorable way. I didn't mean honorable like honorable, but in a sophisticated way, and dresses sophisticated, and yeah. I mean, it's superficial, but I love that. So
that was very nice. Thank you. Well, I'll start with my superficial one then too. I like that you take care of yourself, that like your looks are important to you in the sense of like working out and eating well for the most part. Like you enjoy good food, but we eat pretty well, and I'm thankful for that. But I'm thankful that it's important to you to take care of yourself and that you enjoy working out, and that you look good because of those things. I'm thankful for that. Thankful I don't have a sloppy husband. I mean, you're sloppy, but you're not.
I got a high bar
sloppy.
to live up to. I will never be allowed to be sloppy. So, I love the way that Carly like celebrates and decorates for things. And I think this has become even a bigger deal when we had kids, and every what are the holidays? Sorry, my mind's going. Every holiday there's like new lights around the house, and then new flags and new things on our fireplace, and that's just a really great quality because I'm not necessarily like that. So it helps me enjoy the holidays or whatever we're doing more, and obviously gives our kids an actual decorated birthday party, where if it was me, they probably wouldn't. They'd have funfetti cake, and that's about it. So I love that about her, and then just the way that she loves to give the kids those experiences too. I think it's really special, and she does a good job at it. And even before we had kids, the way that she decorates the house and makes things special around where we are, I think that's a really great quality and something that I love about her.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, I love that obviously you're a great dad, but you're just great with kids in general. And we could be somewhere, and Ben's a little bit of an introvert, which I know is news to all of you. But like with kids, you're just it's so much easier for you almost to be yourself, and you're really extremely silly. And I love that about you, that you really don't care what kids think. Even if they're like a little bit older, like you just don't care what they think, and you just respond funny to them if they like think they're cooler than you, or but little kids always like gravitate towards you, and even like babies, like we always call you Dr. Doolittle because all the animals and children just like flock to Ben. But I love that about him because it's just such a great quality for, I feel like, a guy to love children and to be so good around children. And yeah, it's so easy for you to be silly with kids, like, and not just your own, like other kids too. And I think kids like sense such a genuine silliness and kindness from you, and I really like that about you.
Thank you. To piggyback on the last one, before I go on, because I forgot to add this too, along with celebrating and decorating, Carly really loves and looks forward to experiences.
Yes.
And that can become a little overwhelming sometimes when before the experience is even done, she's disappointed that the experience will be done. So as we drive into vacation, she's already thinking about when we have to leave in 7 days.
It's such a struggle, you guys.
But I do love how she just really looks forward to and amps up experiences, because it makes it exciting to do things together and to plan things and to be able, if there's times where I can get her presents that are experiences, those are always, I really enjoy that because she loves experiences so much. And
Making memories.
making memories. Yeah, she loves making memories, and I love that about her, and it brings so much value to our family and to our relationship. So, does that count as one or not really? I don't know if that counts as one. Okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to think if I should say this one or not. I want it to sound. I'm just gonna say it.
Okay.
We can cut it out if we want. This is something I just really have always appreciated about Ben, is that he's a really good tither. And I know this sounds so funny because he gave away all our money before at our old church and stuff. But no, I think that that's been, as rough as things have been in our relationship, that's never been an area of, like, money's never been like a struggle for us in terms of not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful for that. And I'm thankful for him taking the lead on always tithing, no matter where we were with jobs and income. That's always been something that he was taught to do and knew to do. And like, just was, I feel like, just took the lead on that, like, as a husband in our relationship. And I'm really thankful for that, and I really like that about him, because it makes me just feel like you stick to your word, like you stick to what you're doing. And I know that that's been like a detriment in a lot of ways in our past, but it's just a good quality. I like that about you.
Thank you. I think I've mentioned this before when we said hidden talents, but Carly's just really thoughtful and caring and knows how to support people. She's really good at that. And she's great. She's a great friend and a great mother, and she has a sixth sense of what people need and how to support them and how to be creative with how to support people and what to say and gifts to get. So this is a really amazing quality that brings a lot of joy to my life and makes me feel supported in so many different ways. And I remember even when we were first married, she used to write notes on the bathroom mirror. So I'd get up and I'd see them, and just little things like that she's always been so good at. And I think makes her such a great wife and mother and friend. All her friends can attest to that. So go ahead, let her know.
Thank you. This is one of your better qualities that I'm so thankful for, because it really balances me out. And that's the grace that you have on people and situations. I can tend to be a little black and white and a little rigid and a little high standard. And so when things just don't work out that way, or people make decisions that are not black or white, Ben is really good at extending some grace, especially in situations where I feel like I'm incapable of doing that. He really helps me kind of come back to just extending more grace. And it's mostly in like that particular area. I feel like I'm just not as good at that at all. And he's really, really good at, like just seeing the situation for what it is, and or seeing the person for who they are, even beyond like the bad decision they made. And I really love that quality about him, because it brings a lot of groundedness to me in our relationships, and balances. I think we balance each other really well in that area. But he always helps me see things differently when I like really need to see them differently in situations. So I love that quality about you.
Thank you. It does balance well because it is good. Carly's very justice oriented. So there's times when we need that also. So it's a good balance when the black and white is a good quality too, because it's justice oriented and she wants what's right to be done. So if she wasn't like that, we'd probably still be in a bad spot.
Still be at a cold.
My final one that I had written down, as long as you don't have more, because I can think of some more. Okay, is just her ability to laugh and the humor that we have, and her sense of humor, I think is great. We really can laugh together, and we find that a lot of the same humor funny. I don't know. I guess that
It's a
you
good
know,
thing.
like we think the same shows are funny, and we think the same movies are funny, and we think watching people trip is funny, and
Who doesn't think that's funny?
we can go to a store and walk out and both laugh because we saw the same thing, even though we didn't talk about it in there. So it's that's such a great quality that is. I know I don't tell her enough that she's funny, and she has a great sense of
At
humor.
all. You don't tell me that at all.
It's something that from the very beginning when I started dating you, I always loved about you.
Thank you.
Oh.
My final thing that I love about Ben is that he is literally up for anything. And that's such a great thing because I can be a little bit more, think things through more than I need to. And so if I'm in a place where if I'm in a healthy moment where I am not letting like me being anxious about a situation define what I'm going to do next. If I'm not in that place and I'm like, hey, Ben, let's screw nap time and go to the beach and just like have fun today. He's like so down. And I'm so thankful for that in the moments that like I really need him to be like, yeah, let's just do it. Like doesn't really think it through maybe, but in those times it's so good. And yeah, you're just always like down to do anything. And I'm a little bit more like, nah, that doesn't sound very fun or whatever. Like I'm more maybe just particular again.
But you don't like going to the petting zoo with the horses that are like almost falling down dead and drooling all over the kids.
No, I don't. Yeah, but you're up for fun. And you enjoy going new places and new restaurants, and that's something that I like love to do too. So I love that you are up to try new foods, and like we're not really creature of habit type of people in those sorts of ways, and I like that we balance each other in that way, or that we're similar in that way, because it would be so much harder to like really go enjoy good food if all you liked was grilled cheese or something,
Yeah.
or lunch meat in your eggs. So that's my last thing that I like about Ben.
Well, not her last thing. Obviously,
The
there's so many
thing,
more.
the last and only final thing.
There are a lot more things we love about each other. We're good. We're a good team.
Yes, we are.
Getting to be a better team all the time.
Better.
We're hitting stride.
We've been practicing hard.
We're hitting stride, man. We're ready to go. Championship game.
We're going to state.
That's the other thing that's helped us in coaching.
Are we done?
The other thing that's helped us in coaching the lesson is watch Friday Night Lights together.
Yes. That's true. Sex is forever.
Yes, except no. California forever.
Yes. Amen to that. Anyway, I guess no Final Four tonight. You just heard it. Don't worry, you'll hear Ben's exit music.
But we will not say Final Four, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, you guys. We will talk to you next time.
I guess so.
All right, bye. Thanks for joining us on Biography. Please subscribe or leave a comment. And if you have questions or want to open up a discussion, you can find us on Instagram or Facebook at Biography. See you next time.